Is it possible to have not one, but two completely unique supports in one update that we've literally never gotten before? Yes, it is. And her name is Angela. Following up on the success of Enchantress, I wanted to do a video on Angela to highlight a character that is, while seemingly similar to Enchantress in terms of how valuable her support is and how rare her support value is, doesn't have any of the features that Enchantress has, as far as being proc friendly, being fun to play, or even being good in content. So Angela, despite having the dealer tag as well as the support tag, which blows my fucking mind, is actually borderline unusable as a standalone character. However, if you investigate her uniform effect, you will see that to all superhero allies, she's applying a 40% increased basic damage dealt to supervillains, and that is a very good support passive. Not quite as good as the sort of standard support passives we've come to expect from characters like Shuri. It doesn't have any of the bonus effects like Ignore Dodge that Riri and Valkyrie have, or All Speed that Sif has, but it's still good, right? 40% is still 40%, and although it's only to superhero allies, Angela is available for a surprising amount of content. So initially, you're going to be like, okay, where am I going to use Angela for? Well, initially you're going to use her for ABX. That is going to be the main draw to just get an immediate boost of damage. Because if you take a look at the existing ABX meta, I know we're back on this ugly page here, but for Universal Hero, you're covered. You don't need her unless you would rather use Angela than Richard Rider Nova, which, yeah, she's a lot less expensive. She's a lot cheaper than Richard Rider Nova, and she's also not premium like Ghost Panther, although Ghost Panther has other value. So you have that option there to replace Nova with Angela, but then you also have Universal Female Hero Day. And as it stands right now, you're using Scarlet Witch as the Universal Female, and then you're just using Captain Marvel for the team up with an older uniform, and then you're using Phyla-Vell for the support. So now we can essentially replace Captain Marvel with Angela, and voila! And this represents a big increase in the damage and the score you're going to be able to get with Scarlet Witch just by swapping from Captain Marvel to Angela. So this is a big bump. But that's not the only place you're going to use Angela, because if you take a look, if you just filter by Universal Aliens, right? And sure, we can go superhero as well, but let's just go all sides. So Universal Aliens. There's not that many. And then if you take a look at how many of these are supports, right? So Proxima wasn't a support and she got turned into a support. Hela wasn't a support and she got turned into a support, but they're both basically for villains, anyways. And then you just have Phyla-Vell. That's it. Just Phyla-Vell. She's the only Universal alien support. We have other alien supports like Sif and Valkyrie. We have other Universal supports that aren't alien like Ghost Panther and Richard Rider Nova. But alien Universal support passives, we now basically only have Angela, which is actually really good. With that being said, I want to wrap up the support portion of this Angela review by highlighting just how many stages of World Boss Legend she is available for, since she is also a Transcendence or Tier 3 level character. Now, normally, I reserve this sort of comparison only for Tier 4s, and in the future, I won't be doing this for every single character, but I'll probably do this for characters that are basically support only, because it's an important thing to highlight in my opinion. But if you take a look here, Angela is available for 21 stages, which puts her squarely in the range of sort of average Tier 4 territory. Certainly not at the top, where you can see close to 30 on Shadow Shell and Spider-Gwen, which is super duper impressive, of course, but it's much better than the dwindling amounts of Jean Grey, Black Bolt, and Adam Warlock, who are in the low to mid-teens. So 21 stages represents only 2 for Null, which is pretty bad, but then you have a nice smattering and a balance here with 5 on Mephisto, 4 on Ultron, 3 on Gore, 3 on Jean, and 4 on Kang. That is quite nice. Again, in a class of characters that is very slim for supports in general. Now, if you just go for Universals, you do have quite a few more supports to choose from, in the likes of, Ghost Panther, potentially in the future, Nova Richard Rider. If they Tier 3 victorious, they may increase her support. You have Medusa for Black Bolt. You have a few more options. You have Morgan Le Fay, etc. But it's still a pretty slim class, right? The Universal class doesn't have a lot of Universal supports, rather, because there are so many heavy hitters and native Tier 2s who cannot be relegated to the support class or the support category. So that is where she sort of shakes out as a support. I think she's pretty valuable. However, wow, that's bad. And there we go. So the build is not perfect by any means, but now we're rank 188. We have a bunch of 5-star and 6-star Uru. We have stage 4 type enhancement, which I'm about to use a ticket on to push to stage 5 type enhancement. So I'm very serious about this comparison here. We have stage 12 overdrive. Should be Power of Angry Hulk because you want as much attack speed as possible on Angela if you're trying to use her as a damage dealer. But okay, we're going to use overdrive. We have a 3-star artifact, but I'm actually going to go ahead and equip a 4-star artifact just to show you really, truly how dedicated I am to this review. It's a 15% increase to her basic attack, up from 10%, so that's pretty nice. It's also going to bump up our rank from 188 to 118, so we're almost top 100 for this pure support. We have a CTP of Rage, which honestly should be a CTP of Insight. And then for the uniform, we did roll attack speed and all defense in addition to physical attack and HP because we need the stats to look something like this. We need capped attack speed, capped cooldown, capped ignore defense, obviously. And then you want crit rate and dodge capped because of the Rage. And then you want crit damage capped as well. Keep in mind, Angela only has one ability. So like Ant-Man, this hurts her tremendously. Now, it does give her access to Taskmaster, but she already has 40-30 skill damage, bonus damage. So Taskmaster isn't doing anything that other supports wouldn't already do for her. Now let's see how she performs. Using Wave, Valkyrie, and Angela on this team is a little criminal, but we're going to go ahead and show you anyways. The main issue with Angela is that not only do her skills not deal enough damage, but they're just way too long. They're just way too long. So her 4th skill has to be a delay cancel, and her 5th skill, you just play it all the way out to the end. Because you have all that delaying, you cannot really make her proc friendly. Making her proc friendly would basically strip her of the majority of the damage that she has, because you have to let 4 play out until she slams the sword, and then you have to let 5 play out until the whole thing is done. And then you can maybe splash in some 3, some 2 rather, I don't know. But as you can see here, it's just, this is not good. Right, for stage 29, let me just highlight here. This is stage 29. She's not proc friendly, so we can't use an energy or a destruction. She doesn't use elemental damage. We can't use a judgment. So we're forced to use a rage. Okay, we're forced to use a rage. It's only stage 29, which we've been able to clear for like 2 years now with existing characters. Like Rogue could clear this stage way back in 2021 when Rogue got her uniform with Cable in March, right? Which was like 4 months after Null came out as a boss. This is really bad. The fact that it took her 40 seconds to clear the first phase with the CTP and with triple support and with 25% pierce, which I didn't have at the time with Rogue. On top of the fact that this is also a character that has access to the sword effects, which Rogue didn't have at the time at all. I actually don't understand. Maybe the devs just don't know, like the devs for this update in particular don't understand the characters, and clearly I think they don't understand the game. I'm gonna pause the review here on this level because it's kind of just embarrassing how bad her damage is. But what's more embarrassing is, again, the devs thought it made sense to give Angela the dealer tag. There is no world where she is a dealer. Her damage is shit. Like it's just unequivocally shit. I have almost a top 100 Angela with a CTP, right? I have 4-star to 6-star Uru. I have an artifact that gives her 15% more attack, like increased attack. This is not a bad build anymore. And she's bad. She's just bad. And she's not proc friendly. So where she would have to be doing so much damage to keep up and earn that dealer tag because she has to use a rage. If you take a look at the preview, the practice combo skill that they want you to do, it looks obviously like it's not proc friendly. They want you to do 3 and then 4 and then wait all this time for like 10 hits and then do 5. This is just not gonna happen, my dude. You're never gonna land your proc. You're never gonna land your proc, right? You're just not. You're just not. That was 1 hit. That was another 8. There's just no way. I was early. There's just no way. There's no way. It's really bad the way they've designed this character offensively, and I think it goes hand in hand with what we've already talked about. Odin is bugged, and Malekith is bugged. I would not be surprised at all if they left out a 0 when they were calculating Angela's damage, because this to me makes no sense why they gave her the dealer tag for both. By the way, they gave her the dealer tag for PvE and PvP. This is mind-boggling. They are beyond stupid. I genuinely think that they're trying to bait players. Like, I don't really have a better explanation for it. Either the team that worked on this update has no concept of the game at all. Like, they don't play Marvel Future Fight and they have no concept of the game. So just throw around tags on characters who clearly don't deserve it. Or they're trying to bait players into thinking that Angela is finally a good standalone character. Spoiler alert, she's not. I know for a fact we used to clear this stage. This is stage 34 of Mephisto. We used to clear this stage way back. Way back. Let's see how Angela does here. Okay, first of all, the targeting is absolute ass. No skill except her 5th skill has any advanced targeting. So if the boss moves out of the way, you're just screwed. Her 5th skill has very good targeting, and it will move with the boss, but that's it. Every other skill does not move with the boss. Okay. All right, we're doing damage. It's kind of hard to tell against Mephisto because you can't see his health bar in the first phase. All right, we got interrupted there. Cool. This is a... So we were doing this stage like 2 years ago, right? More or less, we were doing this stage 2 years ago. And this is a triple support team with a CTP and a sword. And the sword effects and you know, a maxed out card set. 25% pierce, yada yada yada. Like, there's no way she's proc friendly. And this damage is so bad, dude. This damage is so bad. Like, there's no way they think this is good damage, right? A triple support team and the bars are not flying on stage 34? You know? There's just no way. There's just no way. With the Awakening skill, it's definitely better. You can definitely see some of the value there at the Awakening skill. But just from the damage, you can tell, like, she should be on a much higher stage, right? The fact that I can tank multiple waves of this tornado skill, back in the day when we were actually doing this content, you would die from the first wave because it did so much damage, and we just didn't have... There's so many other things that I'm not even calculating for why this clear should be so much faster than it is. For example, the World Boss Conquer effect didn't exist the way that it does now, where you get bonus damage from bosses that you've completed in the past that are one stage lower. So in this case, it would be null, right? Like, this is criminal. 2 minutes, and I still have a phase to go. This is bananas, right? For those of you wondering what I'm talking about, I'm talking about this system here, where you have the increased damage, right? You can see this. That's 15% increased damage against Mephisto here. And then if you go to null, he gives me another 15%, 10% damage against. So 25% damage increase against Mephisto from this new thing that wasn't around when I was originally clearing this content. When I had worse cards, when I had no sword, etc. And we were doing it with the Eternals last year in 2022, right? Or maybe that was 2021. Bro, she's so bad. She's so bad. So, okay, to reiterate, the following is true. Angela is a very useful support. While she is not the best support, right? There are supports that have better abilities than she has. She is a very flexible support, and she is immediately useful for specific content like Universal Female Hero, ABX. So Angela is a useful support and a valuable support. And you may consider buying her uniform as a support. However, as a dealer, as a DPS, she is a joke. And it's actually insulting that the devs gave her the dealer tag because of how bad she is at dealing damage. I'm actually offended that they gave her that. Whether it's because of their own incompetence or whether they're trying to trick players. Either way, I'm offended. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of Angela. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.